This is a quick little video on cold calling for commercial cleaning businesses. Now, this can apply to janitorial, commercial, carpet, and tile cleaning project work. The main difference is going to be with janitorial, the jobs are just bigger. Janitorial contracts can be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And a lot of project work is a lot less money. So that's really going to be the only difference, but we have done both. And what I found with cold calling with the phone, and we used to call around 20,000 local businesses a year. We found one of the biggest factors that changed the results was the size of the company. And as you can see with this little chart is with 50 employees or more, our results were always really good. And then once we went down to 30 to 50 employees, the results went down a little bit, but it was still pretty good. Once we went under 30 employees, the results really started to drop off. I mean, this is almost half. And then once we go down to these smaller businesses of 10 to 20, this is where there's a really big drop off. And if you went even lower than 10, if you think about this practically, I think what you realize is, well, there's a reason for this. These larger businesses here of 50 and 30 employees, they have specialists. They have people, that's all they do all day is deal with vendors, whether they're a facility manager or some kind of a corporate buyer. But that's all they do all day is deal with vendors, but they're not dealing with any of the other business problems. That's all they're dealing with is the facilities. Where once you start to get lower and lower to these smaller businesses, you are dealing with a receptionist, a small business owner, and they're getting 8 gazillion phone calls about everything. So if you just stand back and think about that, it's pretty practical that they are just receiving so many more phone calls in these smaller companies. Where these larger ones, I mean, they're probably getting 5 or 10 a day, depending on the industry they're in. So that's something to take into account. Now, there are some exceptions, and I want to point out a couple of exceptions with this is that like property managers, apartments, condos, these these are all large, or they can be large accounts, but they only have 5, 10 employees often. So this wouldn't apply to them. I would pull them out. At least in my experience, I didn't find restaurants that it really mattered if they had 10 or 30 or 50 employees. Results didn't change that much. Churches, again, they can have a lot of square footage, but only have a handful of employees. A big church can still have only 10 employees because they have a lot of volunteers and people on committees. Schools and daycares, I didn't really find that the size changed the results over the phone. A lot of times with schools and daycares, they're difficult to reach door to door anyways because security reasons nowadays. So the phone was always very good for these targets. And with government, although there's going to be some differences with this, with locally, some smaller local governments, the phone might still work. But a lot of times with government is you have to go to their website or through the state, the city, the county, depending how your region is cut up, and you have to sign up for a bid alert, and then they will email you or mail you and let you know that whatever bid you signed up for, um, that that now is available to bid, and they'll give you the dates and everything and a contact person. So this is just a short little video to give you an idea and some things to think about when you're cold calling or when you're deciding what, how to reach somebody. Sometimes it can be the industry, sometimes it can be the employee size. There's a lot of little details that can affect your results. And I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying that these are what give you the best results.